I'm doing today is to talk to you about three big issues that I think keep people from disengaging in politics. Young people, politics, and social media. I'll try to give you free, simple solutions that can help now and in the long run. Okay? People often say that politics is in sport, but I say that sports is in politics. What does that mean then? So, as I've already said, politics can be in part of everyday life of sports. And you often hear people say, there is a lot of politics in boxing. Football has a lot of politics in it. There's a lot of politics in everything, but there's also a lot of politics, rather a lot of sports in politics, which is bad to Nigeria's future and makes young people less likely to get involved in politics. This is how political parties act like sports teams. Like you are cheering for a football team or a boxer when they step into the ring, or like you are cheering for a rugby team. Now, over the years, the number of people in Nigeria who are members of any political party has gone down, especially among young people. And we need to know what political parties are supposed to do. In this case, the job of political parties is to look out for the best interests of Nigeria and the people who live there. So, why do we support political parties like we are cheering for a football team? So, I just want to ask if anyone here has ever watched Big Brother Nigeria. If you have, put your hand up, right? Okay, I mean, as far as I can remember, the worst punishment we got in school for hiding each other was a 1-hour timeout detention, right? And if you follow someone like on Twitter or Facebook, you will see peers and a friends who supports us. No one of them agrees with each other. They usually just yell at each other and say, we are better at this than you are. We've done both of these things in the past. And it sounds to me like watching Big Brother Nigeria, where a non-political party talks about what it has done in the past, what it plans to do in the future, and why the other party is wrong. And the same is true for the other side. Again, partisanship is unhealthy for the future of Nigeria. With so many different political parties in Nigeria, it's hard for many young people to find one they can identify with. There are lots of reasons for this, and I will talk about some of them later in the talk. One of them, which can be talked about in more depth, is the growing cultural similarities that come with globalization. I could share the same values and ways of life with someone from China, America, or any other part of the world. This could change how we run our government. And as a result, northern region and southern region politics are getting worse, even though it might not seem that way because of the media's platform. Because of this, it's harder for young people to join political parties. And the partisanship that comes from this makes young people even less interested in politics. Before I move on to the next story, I just want to say that it wasn't until I wrote this story that I realized what a good quote it was. So I just want to kind of claim the copyright before we get there. The second thing that keeps young people from getting involved in politics is that they don't care about Aso Rock. As I already said, young people are not indifferent to politics. They don't care about the Abuja bubble or politics in general. Recent events like government expenses, scandals, policies that don't help people, the scrapping of some policies, rising tuition fees, and jobs that were promised to young people but aren't being given to them are all things that push young people away from politics. And they don't see the government as a way to express themselves and get involved. I recently went out for coffee with a well-known sportscaster. She told me that when she went to the Senate for a meeting, she said she felt very strange. She's usually the type of person who loves to talk. But for some reason, she felt very, very strange and couldn't say what she was worried about. I asked her why that was the case. She told me, Mastar, I just felt like this wasn't the right place for me to talk. I felt like it was very elitist. I never thought I was from the right family to be able to do that. This just shows that if you want young people to be involved with the right institutions, those institutions have to reflect the demo and demographics of young people, women, and so on. The two wrong sides of an argument are the top thing that turns young people away from politics. One side is Russell Brans, who says that you shouldn't vote because the system is broken, which we agree with. But he says that voting won't fix it, so let's go up in arms. And the other side, which supports Russell Brand's claim without knowing it, is a side that says, oh, if young people don't vote well, then you don't have the right to vote and have a voice. You know that you have to vote, but wait a minute. How have you convinced these young people to go vote? And the more you come out and talk down to people, the less you give them a reason to vote. How do you expect young people to get involved in the politics, in the political process, when you don't give them a reason to? So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some free basic solutions that I think could be very helpful both now and in the future. The first is political education. I don't mean political education in the way that says A party stands for this, B party stands for this, and C party stands for this. There are good tools out there like voter advice and application apps, which I think are helpful for everyone. But when I say political education, I mean more specifically how to participate in the right ways and how to voice concerns about any issue through the right democratic process. Now, if you look at how policies have been made in the past, you will see that they tend to favor people from higher classes and with more knowledge. And the simple reason for that is that they know how things work. So, if they have a problem, they know which counselor or speaker to go to. They know what to do, who to talk to, and where to go. And this might not seem like a big deal, but it is. When I say political education, I mean putting this international curriculum into high schools and teaching young people how to voice their concerns in a democratic way. You may have already seen the Nigeria riots. I'm not saying I don't understand why they did what they did, because I'm not saying it was because they didn't know. But at first, there were people who were angry about problems but didn't know how to deal with it. So that's why they ended up protesting on the street, they found. So if we want to try to bring up and voice our concern, we definitely need more political education. The second option is to change the way volume is measured now. I mean, I'm not going to, because I still don't get what the big deal is about online voting. Let's be honest. Who does online banking in this area? How many people bank on the internet? I talked to a number of friends right before I started to talk. And I told them, if one had to be compromised, like you knew that one of you would have to be compromised, one, your finances, people, someone was going to find out who you voted for, or someone was going to hack into your finances. If you could trust your money online, why wouldn't you be able to vote online? There is nothing wrong voting online. There is nothing in the way. There is no need to opt in. You can opt in if you want to. What I could vote while I'm on my laptop or watching my television. People say there is a count or argument to it, which means that you know what? When you go to vote, there is a really good vibe. Okay? I'm going to tell you about a young boy in London. The first time he was able to vote. In 2010, he wasn't old enough, so he went inside the house. So he heard about this on the news. Someone said that the atmosphere was sorry, so he went in. First of all, it was empty. Second, you had people who didn't care. and he couldn't talk to them. They were a lot older than he was. And when he went in, and the person who gave him his ballot paper was literally about to have a heart attack when he said he was going to use a pen instead of a pencil, which means pen cannot be erased. And when he got out there, he said to himself, is this what young people want? No. Mandatory voting is not another way to change the way we vote and make it more suitable for young people. We need mandatory voting, political education, and fines to make it work. We need mandatory voting because if the government or any political party knew that everyone had to vote, they will have to make policies that appeal to a wider audience. And solution-free institutions need to show young people how to do things and give them ideas. And this isn't just a problem for young people. This could have something to do with bringing more people from minority groups into communities, or getting more women into politics and senate. I think this is the most important thing in the world today. Since he's been a counselor in the UK, a lot of young people have come up to him and said, you know, I knew I could get into politics at that age. How did you do it? And if people feel like they can talk to you or someone else who represents them about important issues or how they can move forward, that makes it easier to get younger people interested in politics. And I think it's very, very important for the future of this country that institutions reflect and inspire young people. If we want to live in a country where all groups of people have a say in how things are run, institutions need to do both. And sometimes people say, you know, there are young people in the Senate. An average senator is 41 years old. Most local government councillors and speakers are between 30 and 40 years old. And we need them. Someone in the Senate should be between the ages of 18 and 24, not 35. Let's live in the present and be the change together. Let also dare you to dream of being the change. Let us all come together and be the change we need in Nigeria and make our nation great again. Peace out.